God. You signed up for this. You planned your life. You chose this. Look here, this is your soul contract. You signed the contracts. You signed. You chose this. You wanted a challenge. You wanted to experience abuse. You wanted the pills and the noose. You wanted punches, kicks, the electric chair.
Why should I care?
You wanted this hard life. Truth cuts like a knife. You wanted to experience evil. You wanted to feel this hell. Duality,
Pain,
suffering,
lies,
deceptions.
amnesia.
You wanted to see the physical earth realm.
You chose this.
This is your soul contract. I didn't force you. You chose a shitty life of pain and abuse. You just can't remember. You chose this!
You have amnesia.
You planned out your life.
You chose abusive parents.
You signed the contract.
You wanted this.
You wanted the abuse.
You wanted betrayal.
Don't complain.
You chose this.
Your life is your choosing.
Hello. Hello. This may be one of the last Esoterica videos that I do for a while. I do not believe that most people are sincere about truth-seeking, are sincere when they claim to understand what my message is, understand my teachings, my Esoterica series, my model. I strongly suspect at this point more people are leaning towards the liar part of the spectrum, the Nolan part, the fake truthers, the baby truthers, the pretenders, the ones that skim over things, than the sincere truth seekers that study, that try to understand, that really look at things and the layers and really focus and don't play demon games and don't pretend. I think most humans are pretenders. They're not worth my energy, my time, my alchemical gold, my spiritual wisdom. They're not worth it. They don't show up consistently. Often they vanish after being here 6 months, a year, 2 years. They disappear. And it teaches me about this realm. It shows me all the time what this place is, how humans behave, how they have a short attention span and a short, I'll say it, false or phony loyalty span of time. They can't be loyal for 10, 20, 30, 50 years. In fact, I've never seen that in my whole life. I've never seen it, so it must be rare. You can pretend for 6 months or a year to be loyal, and you start maxing out around a year or 2 years. Most of you. I don't believe most humans can be loyal to anyone in this realm forever or even for a lifetime here, just one lifetime. I don't think that's the case. I think that most of you pretend, you play demon games, you're insincere, you're leeches, you want to leech ideas, insights, you want to use others to get freedom. Just like you would in a jail, you'd stab someone in the back if you thought you could get out the exit door by doing that. I don't think most of you understand when I speak about exiting this matrix. You still seem to treat it like there's an exit door or laughable, stupid things like that. The Nolan type of way of looking at it is looking at the geography, believing he's on a crater on the moon, and he thinks out of body he's going to be wandering around in this crater trying to find his way out. You don't understand the difference between spiritual and physical or material reality. You don't understand very much. You don't pay attention. You don't focus. You're not like me. You can't seem to do what I do. And I think most human beings are unteachable, foobar, fucked up, beyond all repair, no way for me or any other spirit to reach you. When I leave this matrix, I'm going to say, don't bother trying to teach them. If I communicate with any other beings before this is sealed, don't bother. It's impossible. It's not worth your frustration. You'll get disappointed. They will disappoint you as a species or as a group. Humanity itself will disappoint you if you try to reach them, teach them, help them, offer your time, energy, imagination, creativity, beauty, love, care. They will disappoint you at best, if not betray you and stab you in the back. It's what they do. That's what I would communicate to other beings outside of this matrix. Now, I suspect there is a way to seal this. But if there isn't, that's what I'm going to communicate far and wide, everywhere, to stay away from that place. They will harm you. They will use you up. They will use your energy. They will take you for granted. They will lie to your face. They will say that they care about you. They're loyal to you. They understand your message. They're grateful. And then they'll stab you in the back a day later or a week later or a month later, as the case may be. It's what they do. It's what humans do by the millions. And I've experienced it already hundreds, if not thousands of times in my time there. It's what they do. Don't listen to what they say because their words don't match their behavior. Hardly ever do they match up. Hardly ever does their behavior. They act tough. They're warriors in their words, but they can't stand up to evil even on fucking YouTube. They can't do it. They can't leave a comment of support. They can't see when they're shown when I tag dozens of channels showing what cowards they are. They still can't see that YouTube is full of liars and cowards and demons. And I suspect it is because most of humanity is on that end of the spectrum. You are liars and shameless creatures and felons and demons and abusers. You pretend only to be more like me. You're pretenders, most of you. And that's what I see. I don't care if Team Evil clips this. I don't care if they show it. It doesn't embarrass me at all because I'm disappointed in you. They'll say his cult's falling apart, this, that, whatever. It's not a cult. It's an attempt to give you free spiritual wisdom. And it fails because humans would rather pay for lies and pay for shit and programming. You'd rather pay to be programmed by scumbags and demons than focus and listen to real truth that makes sense. And you've shown it. You don't care about the truth. You don't care about me, truth speakers like me, beings like me. You don't. Most of you on earth don't. And you don't show it. And you don't show up. You'd rather spend your time feasting on shit on television, in movies, mainstream music, which is Hollywood as well. Music, TV, movies, it's all Hollywood. And that's what you spend your time doing for the most part. Because you're not working 24/7. So a lot of people will use the no time excuse. I've never bought that. You could have asked me 30 years ago, do you believe people have no time? I would have started shaking my head saying, no, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't believe your excuses. I don't believe your mental gymnastics. I don't believe you when you say things, because oftentimes your words and your behaviors do not match. They contradict. And I see that. I'm not a dummy. You haven't fooled me. I've given many of you chances for months instead of getting rid of you. I've been patient sometimes for a year or longer with some. And the end result is you always show me what you are, and you show me that you were undeserving of the information, the spiritual wisdom, the truth, the alchemical gold, and the chances and the patience I gave you. Undeserving. And that's humanity in a nutshell. So a lot of you want to pretend that you're innocent. It's just this realm that's terrible. It's not you. But your behavior shows me what you are. I don't trust most of humanity, with good reason. Most of you have tried to stab me in the back if you've been part of my life whatsoever in this realm. Anyway, back to the video. Back to the glorious, glorious video that I even suspect most of you are just giving it lip service and pretending when you say it's the greatest series, and you honestly can't truly see clearly that it is. I think that's how fucked up many of you are spiritually. You can't see. Because you'll go watch shit channels and you seemingly, you're just like, you're unaware. I don't know if you're in a trance or if you're demonic or if it's a bit of both, but you are not like me. You don't have clear spiritual vision. You'll watch shit channels and somebody has to tell you you're watching retarded demons. Nobody should have to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, psst, you're watching fucking retarded demons that are spewing nonsense, and you can't seem to see what it is. So you are very different from me. No one on YouTube or beyond YouTube in this life has to tell me, hey, that's a demon liar over there. I see on my own. And I don't see that with most humans, including on my channel. And then a lot of you, when I show you certain things about demons, you'll just fixate on that. The cube pupils, the black eyes, the snake eyes. It's beyond that. You got to look at the big picture. If you can't even see their shape of their pupils, you should be able to see the darkness and energy coming off them, that it's evil from a distance. But some of you just key in on that because you finally found one little thing that helps you recognize a demon. And so you kind of get fixated on it, which is not what I want. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to see more than that. But maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe I'm asking a species that doesn't want to learn. You want to degrade. You're not a developing species. You're a degrading species. You're degrading spiritually the longer you're here. And you don't seem to mind, most humans. What you do mind about is your movies being ruined, and your TV shows getting shitty, and your music becoming shitty. It's not as good as it was in 1990 or 1980 or 1975 or 1969. You'll say it sucks, and the food sucks now. You just want the simple shit not to get worse. You don't mind that you're in hell realm. If the music were better and the food tasted the way it did in the 70s, let's say, or 60s, whatever the case may be, you'd be cool with it. Most of you on earth, you don't mind. If you had a bit more money too, if you didn't have to pay an electricity bill or taxes. Like Tony Sayers said, if there was no capitalism, it'd be a great place. That's the way most of you are, I suspect. Most on earth. That's what you care about. And that will never be changed anyways. So keep pipe dreaming, keep your wishful thinking, keep doing what you're doing, humans. It fails every time, which is why I think you love doing it. You love being failures. You love watching failures because then you don't have to measure up. You can watch shit channels and say, I relate to this guy because he's a shithead like me. He's low IQ and low morality, and he thinks this realm would be great if you just ended capitalism, and that's the level most are at. If you had more money for cigarettes and weed, and you had a mansion, you'd be cool with this realm if you didn't have to pay taxes. I think that's most in this realm. And the longer I do this, the more I see people are just focused on material shit, money, all the things that won't matter. And I don't believe that you can even imagine your deathbed scenario the way I can. I don't think you can visualize it. I don't think you can do what I can do. That's what I strongly suspect, is that people pretend. I'll talk about deathbed and is it going to matter? I don't think you can do what I do. I don't think you can put yourself there in a bed or hospital bed and imagine what's going to be important. How much money I have in the bank, how many hours I worked, all that simple stuff. That's stuff that even normies should be able to do, but I suspect most people can't do it. Some of you have watched thousands of hours on YouTube channels that will, how can I put it for you to understand? It will help you on your deathbed as much as this. As much as you farting is going to help you get out of this hell realm. Now laugh away, because that's the level people are at. Just laugh away. But that's how much it's going to help you. A lot of the shit you've watched for years on YouTube isn't going to help you one drop of piss in terms of on your deathbed and getting out when they start coming after you. It's not going to help you at all. But that's what you think is truth. You're like, oh, wow, this channel's talking about this. And they're over there talking about this. And AI's coming in. And they have you going in all these different directions that isn't going to help you one bit. And even that, you don't get it when I say that. I don't believe you. I don't believe most on earth understand what I'm saying. You can't do it. And you act like you're in a trance. And most of you think understanding is just parroting back what I've said, like a parrot. And that isn't understanding. But that's the most many of you can do, which is exactly what Louise did. When I said, I've tried and tried to get through to you people. And she said, you tried, Stephen. And then I'd say, it's just parroting back. And it's so fucking annoying to be around parrots. That's the last thing I want. People copying me, parroting me. I hate that. I despise that. It's annoying. It's aggravating. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. It's just like, I don't want you Velcroed to me parroting back the words I say. That's not thoughtful. It's not you saying, I care about you. I'm going to think of a response before I spew some shit back at you. And that's what you do. I'll say, I tried, and then I hear the chorus, you tried, Stephen. Why do you even tell me that? I know I tried. So what are you doing? Parroting? Why don't you think for a moment to say something that's thoughtful or meaningful? I don't believe at this point humans can do that. I don't. Most of you on earth can't be thoughtful before you speak. You can't think and come up with something thoughtful and meaningful to say. Most of you just copy. Mindlessly, you copy and parrot, which shows you're not thinking, you're not thoughtful beings, you're not caring enough to think, what am I going to say in response? How am I going to show care? You don't do that, most of you on earth. You show me the vast differences, including spiritual differences, not just intellectual, creative differences, mental differences. You're not like me. And I don't want you to try to pretend to be a clone of me. It doesn't fool me. It doesn't impress me. As I said, it aggravates me at best. If not, it makes me despise humans for doing that. Because it's fake, it's phony, it's not sincere, it's not authentic. And neither are most of you on earth. You're not sincere, you're not authentic, you're not real. You're pretenders and copycats. Not just the ones that word for word steal my work. They are, obviously. But many of you that tune in are. That's all you can do is copy. You don't exhibit. You don't demonstrate the ability to think. You don't show it. So why would I assume that you do? Just like the ones that pretend you're going to be these great warriors fighting evil, but you can't fight them on YouTube in comments. So I don't believe you. Point blank, I don't believe you. Just like that's why I got rid of Peanut. When evil showed up, he was silent. When evil showed up bashing me and I wasn't there, he said nothing. He showed what he is. And then he tried to impress me by faking it. You already blew it. You showed what you're like behind my back when I'm not there. When you're saying hello and there's no King Stephen during a premiere and evil shows up, you say nothing. You don't support me, my channel. You didn't support Salty Siren. If you're still watching Peanut, you did nothing. And then you said, well, now that I'm gone, I'm going to do something to try to fool King Stephen to say that I can stand up to evil. It's too late. Just like you show up after the war's over and say, I'm in full support. Well, where were you? You didn't show up. It's over. You're too late. It's over. The war's over. Where were you? And that's how I treat it. In a very real way. I treat it that way. And I treat it that way with people that pretend to be warriors. I don't expect most of you to fight evil at all. I expect you to bow down and suck their cocks. And get banged and graped by evil and join them in their cannibalism and in their degenerate, hedonistic sodomy and everything else. That's what you're going to be part of. Because you can't even fight them on fucking YouTube. You've had years to show me that you could. And most don't. Most don't. They don't show me that they're even willing to stand up typing some characters on a screen. They're too fearful to type on YouTube. So I don't imagine that you're going to be doing what I'm going to be doing out of body. I don't. I don't think you're going to be standing by my side like you claim. I don't believe you. You're pretenders. Most humans on earth are pretenders. You're full of shit. You're fake. Now back to this video. Now that I got that off my chest, that has been on my mind for years, by the way. Years. That I've kind of kept hush-hush about seeing what I see. And given you years as a chance. Been patient for years to let people show me that they are sincere, that they are authentic and loyal and will fight evil and stand against evil and choose wisely. And most people have failed. They've been a huge disappointment. Humanity itself is a huge disappointment. Spiritual amnesia. You signed up for this. You signed the contracts, they say. Whether it's your little spirit guides or fake angels, entities, or quote-unquote God or Jesus. That's what they tell you. That's what they tell many. And it works on many. Because they believe in so-called quote-unquote authority. And I don't call any authority the quote elites the way these fucking losers do on YouTube. Which is what most of you have followed before you came to my channel. And you hung on to the programming from the baby truther shit channels. And you come here and you spew it out to me. You just refuse to drop the programming. You're spewing shit. Talking about NPCs and quote-unquote elites and all the terms that baby truther channels use that you never hear me using. But you'll spew it out in my chat room. And eventually some of you are gone. I just get rid of you. You've had a chance to learn and you've sat here for 6 months or a year or 2 years and you didn't learn. You didn't learn. How slow are you that it takes you years and you still don't learn? It'd be one thing if in 2 years you were learning and demonstrating that you're learning, but you don't. So I don't imagine that you're learning in life. I think that in these videos that I'm sharing, you're not learning. You're tuned in. You're watching it like television, like entertainment, which is why I've been flashing up lately. Wouldn't you rather be watching a movie? Just be honest. Go watch Hollywood. Get your skull full of programming. Let the demonic Hollywood creatures program you. It's more entertaining for you. Go watch movies. Crunch on your popcorn. Don't pretend to be a truth seeker, because most of you aren't. You aren't. Or you'd be serious and sincere about studying this stuff. And you wouldn't take it for granted. You'd pay attention and focus. You'd ask questions. You'd say, Stephen, I was wondering about this. Or there's almost no questions put to me by people. They're not curious enough to ask a question. There were people on my channel that left and I said, do you have any questions? And they said they couldn't think of any. That Mr. Scotland character and others come to mind. They never asked a question. No curiosity to ask me a single question. A being that has demonstrated I have tremendous knowledge about this realm. And creativity and imagination and strength. No questions for me. Because you're not curious beings. You're different from me. Whatever you are spiritually is not what I am. You don't have any questions. If I think of the greatest minds that I've ever encountered in history, I'd have plenty of questions for them. Plenty. The ones that I've read, the ones that I've heard about, studied in my lifetime, especially 20 years ago when I used to do a tremendous amount of reading. I'd read 3 or 4 books in my bed every night before I'd go to sleep. I'd have multiple books on the go, reading and reading and reading, and studying great minds and geniuses. I didn't get a chance to ask them questions because they were already dead. I was studying dead geniuses, for the most part, and creative geniuses, including musical geniuses. I'd have questions if I had the opportunity. There's almost no questions, which is revealing. That's a tell that most people don't have curiosity. Or they assume they know it already. They think, well, I know it's a hell realm. They just know these basic talking points. It's a hell realm with recycling and Stephen's giving me strength and saying choose wisely. And you just remember a couple slogans. It's like you don't have a memory or a mind. I don't believe you're at my level. I've yet to find a being in this realm that is at my level or in my league at all. And I don't care how that sounds, because it's true. That's why I don't care. Because you'll try to gaslight me and say he's arrogant, he's this, he's that, he, rather than looking at the evidence and saying, well, obviously he's demonstrated that he is at another level. That's what's true. But you can't even do that. Most humans on earth cannot do that. They can't look at my body of work, all of it in totality, and say his body of work shows what he is. For me, that's simple. I could do that with anyone on earth that has created things. Anyone, including people that died centuries ago. Especially if I could somehow verify that that is their work, that there wasn't some foul play going on and trickery and deception. It is their work. I would be able to judge them by their work, their body of work. I don't believe you can do that. I think most of you are just like wandering around in a zombie trance. You can't focus. You can't think clearly. You can't show that you have an attention span. So I think you're fucked. I wanted to get people to be at a warrior level, to be Viking strong. But that involves focus, attention, awareness, using your mind, your memory, all sorts of things. All sorts of things are in my teachings. It isn't just, this is a hell realm, this is a hell realm. The way evil lies about me, saying all he does is repeat, this is a hell realm. I have hundreds of videos, thousands of videos, just hundreds just in the Esoterica series and the other series that I've done on God's plan and all sorts of things, showing what this fucking place is. Revealing what it is. Showing you what this place is. And when I say what this place is and where you are, some of you idiots think, well, is it a crater Earth? Is it flat Earth? Are you talking about the geography and the topography? Like, I'm talking to fucking zombies for the most part. When I say where you are and what this place is, I'm not talking about how flat the fucking Earth is or if it's a crater, you fucking morons. But unfortunately, that's what I deal with. Beings like that. Beings like you. And I can't wait to see what you look like spiritually, because I strongly suspect that what you look like spiritually as a being, as a light being, a spirit energy being, looks so vastly different from me that it would be the difference between a snail and an elephant. More different than that. That's what I suspect. Or a snail and a great big raven, or a great big beautiful hawk or eagle. You're not the same at all. You're not even close. That's what I suspect. I also strongly suspect, and this is what I think, whether you want to label it arrogant or ego or he thinks this, whatever you want to do, that's what humans do. You don't care about the truth. You care about your fucking assumptions and feelings. But I strongly suspect that some of you will not even be able to look at me. The light of my spiritual being, you'll have to look away. You'll have to avert your eyes. I don't even mean your human eyes, your eyeballs. I mean spiritually. You won't be able to gaze at me. Because I'm such a being of light and so different from what you are. And I also am going to put this in there. I think some of you have chosen to be at a low level, chosen to be shitty beings. You have willfully chosen to be shit, to be untrustworthy, disloyal, and all the envy and all the hideous things that you demonstrate. The violence, the threats you make, the one moment you're pretending to be a friend for 6 months and next you're bashing me all over YouTube or all over the internet. You show me what you are, and I pay attention, unlike you. Unlike most of you on earth, I pay attention to that, and I don't forget. And you're going to see what I mean. I don't have eyes like the sun. I suspect the light from my being will fucking blind you. And I won't regret it. Because I've tried to help you for this entire lifetime. And what I've dealt with from you is beyond ungrateful. It's sickening for the most part, with only maybe a few rare exceptions. But even then, time will tell. They might betray me in the next 5 to 10 years, or maybe the next month. Who knows for sure? It's not always easy to tell, because this is a realm of lying demons and deceivers and pretenders. That's what this place is. Now, do I think you'll ever see it the way I just described it? No, I don't. I don't assume that any of you will, that hear my voice today, tonight, next week, next year, or ever. I don't assume that you can understand what I'm saying and see what I'm saying and understand it in a way that you really comprehend that, yes, this is true about this place. I don't assume that you can do it. I think a lot of you lie and pretend, and you want to fit in somewhere. And for the moment, you think it's cool to fit in and belong to something, but then you'll turn your back. And that's what a lot of you do. And in the end, you might try to apologize. I'm just going to say, too late. You belong there. I'll never trust you after you betray me. So go ahead. Show me what you are. Why would a spiritual realm have contracts, whether they're on scrolls, paper, imaginary, holographic, whatever they show you? Here's the contract. You plan this. You sign this. Why? How does that make sense? Why would that be? Well, it doesn't make sense. But do humans believe it? Overwhelmingly so. Yes, you do. Yes. Almost every being on earth that's had an NDE where they've been presented with a soul contract or told that they signed one believes it. Overwhelmingly, you humans are gullible and you believe what you're told or shown by entities that are strangers to you. Complete strangers. And as soon as you're out of body, you just believe anything that comes along. So do I think you're like me in that respect? No, not at all. You're not like me at all. Because I'm very skeptical and analytical. And I don't just go along. I don't just believe anything that comes along. I know I'm in a realm of deceptions. I know this is a matrix of deceptions, in body and out of body. I know that. I have that awareness. Do most of you? No. Something can come along and say a few sweet words, sweet little lies, and make you feel good, or love bomb you, or tell you you have amnesia. You just don't remember choosing your life. You chose your body according to Harold, that Harold Darky guy that talks about pre-birth memories. According to him, he chose his body, he said. He chose to be that skinny. He claims he's athletic. He chose to be a darky in this world. He claims he chose his body to be a darky. Okay? He claims that he chose his life. He mapped out his life, chose his parents. Pretty sure he mentioned that. Most of them do. They claim that they chose their parents. There are ones that claim they chose their sexually abusive parents or violent parents that abused them in childhood. And they still claim they chose those parents. Because some entity told them. This is the ultimate in gullibility. And it's frustrating. Because I'm in a realm of fucking demon tards and zombies. Period. With very rare few that can do a little bit more beyond that. And not as much more as some of you believe. You're not that far away from these zombies and demons with the way you behave and the way that you tune out, and the way that you don't have questions, and you lack curiosity, and you're not inquisitive. I could go on. And I've been observing for years running these channels what people are and what they aren't, what they demonstrate and what they do not demonstrate, what you show, what you don't show. You always reveal what you are in the end. And I pay attention. And I don't think most of you do. I don't buy it. Because if you did, you'd be able to see very clearly, if you paid attention to what I've been saying for years, what this place is. And you'd also have questions. And there's almost no questions. Hours can go by on live streams and there's no questions. No intelligent questions. The only time there's usually a question is about gossip, drama, another YouTuber perhaps. Something like that, but no big picture questions. No meaningful spiritual questions. Why would you trust these entities? Why would you trust entities telling you that you signed up for this? How does that make any sense? A child signing up for child abuse and leukemia and all sorts of things and a horrible life of pain, torture, suffering. Who the fuck would sign up for that? I know humans are retarded and spiritually retarded, but still, who would sign up for that? I just don't buy it. And then they conveniently tell you, well, you just have spiritual amnesia. You don't remember. You signed the contract here. Here, look, you signed it. We're showing you, but you just don't remember doing this. Well, isn't that convenient? And then people buy it. Most of you believe anything. Anything. So how can I teach you? See, that's the problem. You believe any bullshit out there, and you're clinging to evil nonsense programming, including from baby truther channels. You'll come here saying, NPCs, 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 NPCs. Like that Tyler Kong guy that I had to get rid of. He just wouldn't stop doing it for years. And then he said, when I questioned him on it, he said it's an outdated term and still using it. So you can use that NPC term and believe that you're in a video game until your deathbed if you want to. But you got that from other channels. You hung on to the programming that you got before you ever came to my channel. So why are you wasting my time? I'm trying to teach you truth and you're clinging to programming, saying, I want to keep this shit. I want to hang on to these lies. I want to hang on to what doesn't make sense. Just like some of you want to hang on to the Anunnaki story or the Bible stories. Go ahead, but stay the fuck away from me. I don't want you wasting my time and energy. I don't want you near me. I don't want your energy near me. If you want to believe the stupid psyops, go away, because you're not here to learn. Just like some of you come to my channel from the panel verse, aka the demon verse, just because you want to talk about someone on the screen like Jack Talcott or someone else. You don't give a shit about all of my work. So you're not on my channel to learn. It's simple. You're not fooling me. I see through that. That's easy to see through. I can see who's not around to learn and who might be around to learn. Might be. But it's rare. And I think a lot of you have this false concept that most people on earth want to see the truth, want to learn, but they're not exposed to it, which is bullshit. Millions of you on YouTube have had a chance to learn something real on my channel. On multiple channels of mine. And almost none do. Almost all of you on YouTube choose shit to watch. You choose laughable shit. You choose losers that are homeless, living in cars, begging for money, begging for donations, Patreon, join their membership clubs. That's what you're watching. Their channels always have more subs, more viewers, more likes, and hundreds of people supporting them. You pay to be programmed by shit. That's what you pay for. You pay to be programmed by homeless, sticky bums, and drug addicts and losers. That's what you support. Way more than support my channel. Any of my channels. Way, way more. And I'm honest about it. But what does it say about you? Some people think, well, he's saying more people support these. Yeah, they do. What does it say about you, humans? That most of you support evil shit, liars, homeless, bums, drug addicts, felons, sex offenders. It shows me exactly what humanity is. It paints a very clear picture for me. Maybe not for you, but it does for me. They get way more support for lying to you, scamming you, begging for shekels to spew out shit, and to laugh and say nukes are real, and laugh at flat earth and say it's a globe, and there's planets, and they're believing all the mainstream shit, and you're paying these fucking demons. You show me what you support. Humanity's what I'm speaking about. Are you a collective? Are you very much alike? Absolutely. A lot of you think you're so much better than normies, but you're not. You're hanging on to baby truther shit from other channels that you watched over the years. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And you think, well, I learned that then. Now, and you'll never question it. If I make a video debunking it completely, you'll still say, well, I still kind of think we were created by the fucking Anunnaki. Enki and Enlil came here, and they created humans out of hybrids were with hominids and the ape-like creatures. They mixed our DNA and mixed it with them and created us to mine gold. And, well, these other channels say that, and Tiamat and this and that. You're just hanging on to shit. Most of you have skulls full of shit. Programming. Shit. That's what I call shit. Programming. And you love the shit channels that programmed you. You're thankful. In fact, I would say most of you are more grateful for the shit channels out of all those years than you could ever be grateful for what I've done and poured my efforts into for years, my time, thousands of hours for free to try to teach you something that's real. You appreciate far more the shit from the shit channels that you watched over the years. And I'm by no means jealous. I'm just disappointed in humanity because it's just futile trying to teach you because you love shit. Just like the example I've given many times. The metaphor of a restaurant. And I have a 5-star restaurant in that metaphor. If you can think and imagine for a moment that you're invited to a 5-star restaurant, fine dining, and I give you an invitation and say it's all free. You don't even have to bring your wallet. It's all taken care of. A 7-course sampler dinner. You can have multiple desserts off the menu, whatever you like. And your tip, your gratuity is taken care of. I'll tip my own staff. And what you prefer is to go eating out of a dumpster. And you're more grateful for that rotten, shitty food. You're dumpster diving, and that's what you do on YouTube. And that's what you do in life with most of you, the people you surround yourself with. The ones you are loyal to are most of the time, most often, they're abusive, they're shitty, they're losers, they're addicts. You appreciate the shit. That's what humans have a taste for. You have a taste for shit in music, taste for shit in YouTube channels. You have a taste for shit in boyfriends quite often. Women love the quote-unquote bad boys, the toxic felons, the ones with their pants sagging that are in and out of jail and prison, that are drug dealers. You have a taste for shit. Scumbags that are missing teeth and they're covered in tattoos and they're just classless and just sometimes they smell like Landry. Gross. That's what most of you prefer. You can shake your fucking heads until your necks are sore if you want. But I observe. That's what you do. And a lot of you hype up these shitty channels. That's why you're afraid to mention channels at this point. Because over the years, when people have mentioned a channel, I've gone right there and reviewed it live and shown the shit that people follow that they say is a good channel. And I've shown it over the years. Ones that were begging for shekels right off the bat. It was like one person showed me a channel or named them. And it was a woman begging for shekels, pretending to be anti-feminist. And it was just a grift to get men paying her money. To get hundreds of thousands of subscribers and make money. And you're fooled by all of these grifts. Most of you humans. I think they could show up at your door selling you a vacuum cleaner, and the vacuum cleaner would be smaller than what would fit in a shot glass or a thimble. And you'd be duped saying this is the most powerful vacuum cleaner on earth. And the scammer at your door says, yeah, it is. And we have a deal today. It's 75% off. It's only $1,000 for this vacuum cleaner. Or 1,000 British pounds. Or 1,000 euros. Wonderful, isn't it? Well, you'd laugh and say, "What an idiot to buy that." You're buying worse than that on YouTube. You're buying shit that's toxic to your spirit, that's going to keep you enslaved here. So you laugh at people that get scammed out of money. Well, you've been buying shit far worse than that. Toxic shit. Demons fooling you. Lying about me, for example. Lying about this earth. Lying about this realm. Lying about the afterlife. Lying about God. Quote unquote God. Lying about quote unquote heaven. You've bought so much toxic shit in your lifetime that the vacuum cleaner, you'd be lucky if that's all that you got scammed on, a vacuum cleaner smaller than the very tip of my pinky finger. And they say it's $1,000. It's a huge deal, 75% off the regular price we charge, lady or sir. It's a great deal. And you laugh at people getting scammed by that, but fuck, you've gotten scammed and duped and eaten so much toxic shit that your spirits just look like zombies. You look like zombie spirits wandering around that can't see anything. And what most of you focus on is what someone's wearing on these YouTube channels. When they're spewing out shit, you don't seem to pick up on it. You're just worried about if the person's wearing a hat or their beard or this or that. You don't realize that they're spewing out toxic shit, and most people don't even mention it. There's no mention. Because I think that's normal for you. I think you people are around people that do that all day long in life, and it's just normal. You're just so used to it. You just like a fish in water. A fish isn't going to be like, water feels weird. It just feels normal to you. You're completely acclimatized to it. You're just like, yeah, this is normal. What do you mean, Stephen? People shouldn't be lying all day long, spreading toxic shit and doing all the evil things they do and envious. They shouldn't be that way? Like, what I'm saying seems abnormal to you, I think. Because this hell realm is fucking normal to most of you. This is your home. And the reason I know that is it seems like it's your home. You don't seem to have great problems with it other than money, for the most part. Most of you humans just wish you had more money. And then you wouldn't be complaining. If you didn't have to work, if you could retire and never work a job for anyone ever again and have plenty of money, you'd be cool with this place. You would never call it a hell realm. You wouldn't be on my channel. I'd never see you again. All it would take is a lottery win. And for some of these creatures that claim they see what women are, all it would take was a woman to give them a BJ and they change their mind. And some of these incels that complain, if they got a BJ and a girlfriend, they would change their mind. One orgasm. They blow their little load one time, these incels, and they would change their view entirely. And I think most humans are that way, with money, with sex, with all sorts of things. You are that way. You're that, not just gullible, you're that easily duped. You're that easily satisfied, pleased. You're just not very strong-willed beings. You're not very strong spiritually. And I wish I was wrong. I wish I could say, you know what, I think I might be wrong about this. I see what I see. I see what I see, and I think I see this realm very clearly. And I don't think most of you on Earth are warriors. I don't think most of you on Earth are curious, inquisitive. I don't think you're thoughtful, caring, loyal, minded beings. I think most of you are shit, and that's why shit feels good to you and feels normal. Like a pig in a pig pen. That's actually a bad example, because pigs would rather be clean, I think, than be in the shit. They do roll in mud to protect their skin because of the way their skin is designed, but I just think you love the shit more than any pig could love it. Pig shit in a pig pen. You love it. You roll around in it. It's what you consume on your TVs. It's what you consume on your phones. It's what you consume mostly on YouTube. It's mostly what you watch, listen to, support, believe is shit. And you believe demons. You believe felons, sex offenders, liars, evil, violent creatures that say the sickest things to me, make threats. Very few of you can even see what that is. Very few of you. So when it comes to the soul contracts, I think even though I've warned you and explained it not only in this video, but for years before this standalone vehicle, or standalone video, not vehicle. I think most of you will get duped because out of body's just going to feel good to you, and they'll explain it to you. And you're not going to fight them because you can't even fight anything here. You can't show that you're a warrior here in this realm. So why should I assume that, oh, they're suddenly magically out of body, snap their fingers, and they're going to become a warrior? I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I don't think you will. I don't think you will. I think you are what you are. Aren't you? You're not what you pretend to be, most humans. And I also think that some of you, not all of you, but some of you are working with the entities where you just want a more comfortable life. You'll work with the enemy of your own species just to get good favor and get rewarded and privileges, we might say. Not white privileges, but privileges for working with evil and being a turncoat, a sellout, which a lot of you are. You'd sell out someone that's done wonderful things for you. You're not very strong, and you're not morally strong or spiritually strong, which is why these entities can feast upon you so easily, because you're not strong morally or spiritually. You're weak. What's it like to be you? I wonder. That's one thing I do wonder. I am curious about this stuff. Many of you don't show any curiosity. But what is it like to be a human and that weak, and to want to betray good beings that have been good to you the whole time they've known you? What's it like to be so shitty and evil as to do that? What is that like? What's that like? Because I can't relate to you. That's why I wonder what it's like. Because I truly can't fucking relate to what you are and the way you are. What is it like? What's that like? What are you going to do when your body dies and your spirit leaves your body? What are you going to do? Some of you spent so much time on my channel and then you'll call me a liar with no evidence. Gratitude, trust, loyalty, care, love, kindness, understanding are so rare in this realm. I don't think any of you truly have any idea how rare it is. Things I just mentioned. I really don't. I think you'll pretend and go, yeah, those are pretty rare. You just don't. You're surface level. You're pretenders. Sometimes you agree just to agree. You pretend. I don't really think you see it. And if you don't see it, good luck. I don't think you stand a chance of getting out. You have to see it before you try to leave.